name is Andrea Suarez, and I am the Digital Marketing Manager here at Waste Consultants. Today, we are going to talk about part 2 of a series that we just started. Do I have inefficient waste equipment? In part 1, we talked about what waste equipment is and how easy it is to overspend on it. We also talked about the solutions we frequently recommend to our clients. And in this part, we are going to talk about some of these solutions. So at any one of your locations, you may need more dumpsters with fewer pickups, larger containers, smaller containers. A thorough waste audit will show what cost-cutting solution is right for you. So a big part of this presentation kind of comes with a caveat. There are going to be different options based on what industry you are, based on where you are in the country, because rates will differ from region to region, and based on which haulers you use. So a lot of that is what you pay is very dependent on all those variables. So that's something important to keep in mind. Let's go through the first solution that we most typically offer to our clients. So this one is you need more dumpsters, but with fewer pickups. You may be in a situation where it's cheaper to pay for additional dumpsters, but fewer pickups. Assuming your dumpsters are being emptied when they are completely full, something that we find maybe not everyone is necessarily doing, adding more dumpsters can be a cheaper option than paying for more pickups. The efficiency of your waste equipment has a direct impact on your waste spend. The solution depends on what your haulers charge for pickups, what your waste haulers charge for dumpster rentals, and when your contract expires. For clients that are in the middle of a contract term, we see if the hauler is willing to adjust service levels. Our success depends entirely on the hauler. Some haulers are more amenable to midterm adjustments than others. It's much easier to make changes to a contract if you are nearing the end of that contract term. And if that's the case for you, the hauler likely wants to keep your business, so they are more willing to give allowances that they otherwise just wouldn't be open to. You may need larger waste and recycling dumpsters. So this is another solution involving waste equipment. On the other hand, you may have the opposite waste disposal problem. Instead of needing more dumpsters, you may just need larger ones. Suppose you have 3 6-yard waste dumpsters on your site location that are picked up 3 times a week. We do an extensive audit and we find that these dumpsters are not used to capacity in this example. Then we would evaluate your options and find that, the best option is to replace your current dumpsters with 2 8-yard waste containers instead. As a result, the larger size will allow you to decrease service to once a week, thus saving you money. The rent for the larger dumpsters will be more expensive, but you'll save more over time because you'll be paying for fewer pickups. More companies need a solution similar to this, and they just have no idea. As a result, many overspend by thousands of dollars over the term of their contract. Most haulers we've seen aren't going to volunteer cost-cutting solutions like this. They're not going to tell you that you could stand to have fewer pickups or maybe get fewer dumpsters. Some will, but from what we've seen, there tend to be very few and far between. Of course, few are going to be willing to cut into their profits to benefit you, unfortunately. But there's another reason that haulers maybe aren't necessarily forthcoming about this kind of information and these solutions. Haulers are experts on trash and recycling and pickup, but they're not experts on evaluating waste streams, that larger picture perspective. There's a difference between knowing how to service your dumpsters and being able to thoroughly evaluate your waste output, service levels, and equipment. Haulers are incentivized to make as many pickups as possible, not to find cost-cutting solutions that are right for your business. What they do and what we do could not be more different. So haulers are haulers, not waste consultants. Another solution, you may need a smaller waste and recycling container. If your dumpsters are not full when serviced, you may need to downsize the containers, but you may also need more frequent pickups. How can you tell what solution is right for you? When we find that one of our clients is in this situation, we get in touch with the hauler and ask which would be the least expensive. Pickup rates and rental fees for dumpsters vary based on what hauler you use and your geographical location. Hauler A may be more expensive than hauler B, and waste rates tend to be less expensive in the Midwest than in the Southeast. There are no blanket fixes that are right for everyone, which is why we tailor our solutions to you, your company, and your needs. In the end, we would typically recommend implementing the least expensive option based on your particular variables. So another solution, smaller containers versus fewer pickups. When we evaluate a location, we also weigh the benefits of getting smaller containers against keeping the current containers and instead getting fewer pickups. Suppose you have 4 8-yard dumpsters, but we find that they're only half full when they're picked up. So long as there are no seasonal usage issues to keep in mind, we would likely recommend that you remove 2 of those dumpsters. Again, why pay for what you're not using, right? You could keep the same pickup schedule, but you'd be paying significantly less in this scenario. So implementing those waste and recycling changes. So we've kind of talked about a few different scenarios that might be applicable to you. And now we're going to talk about from our process, how we go about implementing those solutions. So when we conduct an audit, we persistently look for common and creative ways for you to save on your waste expenses. Before we implement any changes, we first talk to your site managers and then with you. We get in touch with every site manager and go over their waste and recycling details. We ask questions about current service levels and pickup frequency. We ask about the equipment they have on site. We ask these things to ensure that we have accurate information. So most often when we're doing these audits, we're looking very closely at all of the documentation that's associated with these waste streams, particularly invoices and waste contracts. We have found, not too often, but infrequently, that what's listed on the container is either inaccurate or outdated, and even sometimes what's listed on the invoices is completely incorrect. So we really do our part to make sure that the information we have is completely accurate. Color invoices will sometimes say one thing, but again, the reality may be something very different. We also find it invaluable to talk with those who have day-to-day knowledge of your current waste management process. We've found that they often have information that allows us to tailor our recommendation to the real needs of that location. For instance, when our senior analysts will often ask, I'm thinking about this particular solution for this problem. Have you all ever tried that before? Would that work for your location from your perspective? Sometimes the site managers will give us really good reasons why that idea may or may not work. Maybe there's a construction issue we don't know about. Maybe there's a vendor issue we haven't heard of, or even in some cases, maybe it's the solution that we're proposing is one that has been tried in the past but just hasn't worked. So before we present our final recommendations to you, we make a point to run them by that site manager or the series of site managers who will likely know how feasible a possible solution really is. Then we present our findings to you. We go over our findings from the audit and show you how much you can save and how, specifically what changes we are going to make sure you can maximize those savings opportunities. The recommendations themselves show what changes you ought to make to reduce expenses at every applicable location. Some sites save thousands of dollars, some don't have any savings. But overall, we reduce most clients' annual waste and recycling expenses by 10 to 35%. Then we get your feedback. Most clients are excited to have us quickly implement the vast majority of saving solutions immediately. Every so often, there are minor adjustments that need to be made to implementation timelines or other lesser changes that need to be made. We talk through every step of the implementation process to ensure you are kept in the loop about exactly what to expect on each of your sites.